The content of this video is not medical advice or a substitute for physical therapy. Please consult your physician or physical therapist before starting any exercise program.
Has your back ever felt tired, achy, and sore at the end of the long day, or maybe even in the middle of your day, and you just wish you knew what you could do to give it some relief? Well, I've got 5 moves you can do in under 5 minutes to give yourself some back relief. Now, quick disclaimer, if you have had a back injury, please check with your doctor or your physical therapist to be sure these exercises are appropriate for you. This is not meant to be treatment for a back injury. But if you have a tired, achy, sore back, this is for you. So let's get started. We're going to go down to one knee for our first exercise for a hip flexor stretch. You're going to make sure your front knee is over your heel, your back knee is under your hip. Feel free to hold on to a wall or a chair or something for balance if you need to. And the way you're going to start is by squeezing the butt muscle of the down leg. That should make you feel a stretch along the front of the hip here, as well as along the front of the thigh. Once you've felt the stretch a moment, release the buttock and back out. And I want you to go into and out of this stretch 3 to 5 times on each side. So if this feels like, wow, I really needed this, do 5 reps. If it feels like, it feels good to open it up, but I'm doing all right, then stick with your 3. Now we're going to go ahead and switch legs and do the same thing on the other side. Once again, squeezing the buttock, feeling that hip open a little bit, feeling the stretch along the front of the hip, and then backing out. So I'm just going to do 3 for the sake of the video, but once again, you do what feels good to you. Now for our second exercise, we're going to go down to the mat, and we're going to place the hands under the shoulders and the feet shoulder width. Use your hands and your arm strength to gently press yourself away from the mat and then come right back down. So this is a little assisted backward bending, and we do this to help our bodies remember, even after all the forward bending we have to do all day long, we can still backward bend, and it's actually really good for our backs. And it will give you some relief, especially after all the sitting. Now, once you're done with your 3 to 5 repetitions here, go ahead and push yourself up to all 4s. Walk your hands under your shoulders. Make sure your knees are under your hips. And you're just going to send your hips straight back towards your heels. You can also reach your hands forward and even drop your head to make it more like child's pose in yoga. But you hold only for a minute before you return to all 4s, and then send your hips back again. Make sure you continue to breathe through these. Once again, you're doing 3 to 5 reps. You're just lengthening your lower back muscles here and stretching your shoulders a little bit. Now, before I take you to your last 2 exercises, let me just remind you that if you like these tips, if these are resonating with you, please share them, hit like, click all those buttons. And then remember, if you haven't seen my free mini course, Everyday Movements That Are Wrecking Your Back, click the link in the notes below and you can go straight there and grab that free mini course. All right, now our last 2 exercises, we're just going to make our way down to our backs with our knees bent and feet about shoulder width. This is a pelvic lift. Now, I want you to put your thumbs on your ribs and your fingertips down on your pelvic bones just to keep you honest and make sure you're not arching or rounding your back in this. We want to keep the back relatively neutral and still. This is all about the buttocks. So you're going to press with your heels to raise your pelvis off just a little bit. You don't need to go far. And then return to the mat. Really doing your best to keep your spine neutral and feel the work in your glutes here, not in your back, not in your hamstrings. And once again, you're going to do 3 to 5 just to make sure those glutes are doing their job, which, by the way, when you're standing up, they should be supporting the weight of your trunk. So we're just making sure we're dialing them in here. All right, once you finish with your pelvic lift, your last exercise is a little upper back rotation. So you're going to reach your arms out wide, palms up. You're going to cross one leg over the other, and that top leg dictates the direction of the leg. So I've got my left leg on top, so I'm going to slowly pull both legs over to the left. Now please see that I've got my right foot still on the floor, my right shoulder blade is on the floor, and I'm only taking those legs as far as it feels good, and then I'm going to bring them right back up to center. So just being careful not to force anything here. We're just getting a little bit of mobility along the upper back and then bringing the legs back to center. Yes, you can tighten your abdominals a little bit just to make sure that it doesn't feel bad in your back, but this should not be a whole lot of work. Now, once you've done your 3 to 5 reps, go ahead and switch the cross of the legs. Once again, taking those legs gently to one side, keeping the shoulder blade of the opposite side down, and then bringing the legs back to center. Gently taking them over and bringing them back. Remember to keep breathing here. And last one, legs go over and legs come back. All right, that's it for my little mini routine. Remember that if this feels good and you want a little more, run through it a second time. And here's the bonus. You don't have to wait until your back is sore and tired to use this. You could use it first thing in the morning to get yourself loosened up. It's gentle, it's pretty darn safe, and I think it'll feel really good to you. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this tip, and until I see you again, keep moving and be well.